The hour is at hand. Hold on, let's get the camera. There we go. Get my head a little more on camera. There we go. All right. Shadowlords are dead. Episode 36 of our Ultima 5 Let's Play. There are no Shadowlords anymore. We have the regalia of Lord British. We are at Shame's Egress in the Underworld. Good evening, British. Good to see you here, Waffle Syrup. This is it. Or is it? Because before we go and find the gate of all the lore of the world and retrieve Lord British, regular British, and possibly Stupinski if he shows up, are going to let me in on some of the things I've missed. And maybe some of them will be intriguing enough that I'll decide, you know what, let's go back to the surface. Let's see it with our own eyes. But then we're going for it. We're bringing this quest to a close, and I'm excited. Even if it's going to be bittersweet to leave this game behind. Alright. So let's fire it up. British, you get started, and I'm going to wander aimlessly here in the Underworld, because if I can pin down where this gate of all the lore of the world is, that'll save us time either way when it's time to go. I'm excited to learn the things I've missed, possibly including this friggin' box. But for now, yes, I do remember Tactus, the very cynical man who likes fascism because he sells more weapons. Okay. Oh, wow! That's unusual to gate a quest series behind a requirement for the avatar to either be in favor of Blackthorn or to lie. What's the quest series? Where does it lead? I'm intrigued. Oops, my torch has gone out. So here in the Underworld, by the way, the instructions of the Codex of Wisdom, or Codex of Virtue, were to look for a place of darkness. And I would argue that that actually describes the entire Underworld, right? Oh. So do you become a... Okay, alright, this is actually plugging a lot of... I was like, the judge, that mage, like those are things that really seemed like wild gaps that I just wouldn't have predicted, because like, you know, Ultima 4 does not give you the option to pursue becoming the avatar of all the vice. But maybe it turns out to be a secret agent, double agent thing. I'm intrigued by this. No pressure to type faster. Take your time. You have to name names. That... I mean, I'm not going up to do that, but holy shit. The only keep that never gave me anything useful? Oh, so folks seeing this later on YouTube. Here's the chain. Tactus the Smith, in Minnock, if you agree with him that Blackthorn's changes are great, he sends you to talk to the judge and you. The judge and you sends you to the mage and Scarabray, after making you a part of the oppression, the counterpart to the resistance. The mage and Scarabray asks you to name the name of one of the members of the Great Council. After you give up a name, he sends you to that one keep. Which one? What was it called? Hold on. Let's get the name. It was Windermere, right? Sends you to Windermere. And you can buy jeweled swords and shields from the mercenary. You sold your soul. From the mage, you can get the black badge. What is the black... This is astonishing to me. It's got to kill your karma score to go down this quest line. Oh. Thought this might be leading kind of up to an entrance, but it's just a loop. Oh well, we'll keep perimetering. You know, okay, the badge lets you infiltrate Blackthorn's castle without needing to duck the guards, because they'll catch you and they'll just ask you for the passport. And you go like, oh yeah, I'm down with the oppression, baby. So you can ultimately play them. Which certainly sounds a lot less clumsy than my method of... Yeah, holy moly. Would it ever make it easier? Even in a game that wasn't explicitly asking me to roleplay as the avatar of all virtue, in the sequel to a game where you couldn't beat the game if you did bad things, I'm really bad at taking advantage of the freedom of role-playing games to do bad things. Unless I came in at the very start and told myself, you're playing a bad person, or you're playing a person with this agenda. Otherwise, I have a tendency to resort to goody two-shoesing. There are two bosses in the Dark Souls series. Priscilla, the half-breed, and the Ancient Dragon from Dark Souls 2 that I've never fought, because you can only get those boss fights by launching unprovoked attacks on non-aggressive NPCs. And I've just never done that. I had a feeling, yeah, British is telling me also you can find out how to get Nightshade and Mandrake for free. That was in Ultima 4, you could only get Nightshade and Mandrake if you could find the spot and get it for free. Much like in real life. I think if in real life I was mixing up spell reagents a lot and I had the option to do a whole lot of work to pick my own Nightshade and Mandrake, or to just pay a premium, I'm a pay a premium kind of guy for that. As my Uber Eats bills over the course of this pandemic would confirm. Free Nightshade in the Spirit Wood. I think that's a different... I'm not sure. I don't remember the location. Oh, Place of Great Darkness doesn't seem to be down here. Let's explore up these hills. Huh. Fascinating. We have not found the Place of Darkness. Yet. Just wandering right now. Or when you say, oh, by dwelling in the Underworld, do you mean there's just like some dude living in a hut down here somewhere? Oh. No, we haven't found that. What's the story there? Oh. It's the first thing you've mentioned that I'm tempted to do before completing the game. Okay, if it's not that far, let's do it. Let's find it. Speaking of the shame entrance. Oh yeah, because I started out by going west. I'm already... What have I done to my gem and torch supply already? Oh, I mean, it's not that bad. Okay, well here's the shame entrance. Right? I didn't... Yeah. Okay. So I can blink to it somewhere from here. Guide me, sir. Where should I go? At the entrance, head north for a small cavern. Okay. This little loopty. Oh, I think I see it. Whoops. Blink across the... Okay, so I'm blinking from here, from around here to the east, perhaps? To the north. Okay, let's try it. Gotta remind myself here. Blink is Inpour. Alright. Let's try it. The Underworld part from Despise. Okay. Is there a sweet spot I should be looking for the teleport? That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Let me just keep on. Okay. Here's what we'll do. A mode of Inpour. Alright. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to restart. I'll make the remaining Inpour attempts. Failing that, it won't actually take that long to just climb back out of shame and make the trip through Despise to get there, if we need to. Okay, let's get on this carpet. Okay. Alright. Oh, there. There's the answer. Not at all in the mood to fight bats, sorry. Although I will kill you, you one spider. It was right around here. That's fine. None mixed, whatever. We've got 99 of everything. And if I get neurotic, I could always just save scum. Blink with silk and moss. Let's just do 10 of them. Okay. Okay. I would have sworn. Wait, was it this? Leave it alone, Mongbats. Fine. We'll run from you and cause you to cease to exist. Rats. Was it here? Okay, I gotta go back, take another look, because I had to be up to the north to see where the green was gonna come from. Okay. Okay. It's not quite the same. We can go with that. We'll keep that in our pocket because I can see how watching me attempt Impor from every imaginable position here. Okay. Okay. Get to the north point. See where the connection was. There's the green. It seems to line up, yeah, with the left side of that little loop-de of hills. So, let's go back, make one last attempt. Infuriating. Okay. Let's speed run it. We're gonna find this dwelling. And it's right outside Despise, implying that if anything, you're expected to find it much earlier than I did. Which is fine. Wait, what's the story here? How do you get out of the 8th floor? There it is. Right side of the loop. Okay. Okay. Let's try it again. Because, right, I forgot that shame is clumsy to get out of. So blink is definitely the way we want to do this. Whoops, wrong recipe. Silken moss. This is fine. Okay, what about this then? Rid of these bats. Get off the carpet. Cancel. What about... Yeah, part of me is like, it's part of my brain that says, just look at a map of the underworld yourself and you'll be able to line it up. But then I'll be telling myself where the place of darkness is and ruining the last bit of exploration for myself. Alright, here's the strategy that we're going to do. British, you yourself are a sage and wise expert in the lore of Britannia. I request that you be a stand-in for this underground hermit who knows the story of the Shadowlords, and tell it to me. Meanwhile, I'm gonna mess around looking for the place of darkness. Gotta say, the codex could have been more helpful. It could have said beyond Shame's Egress to the east, or to the northwest. Like, we had just regular people giving me extremely detailed underworld directions and prophecies. Oh, a shipwreck. Okay. A shipwreck in the underworld near Despise. Within, we find Captain John. Those hills up in there? He tells you that he and his crew were pulled into the underworld by a whirlpool, which can also happen to us. Yeah, it happened to me once, I believe. Or am I just thinking of the time that I, found the path down the river in the Spiritwood? I think it happened another time. Bats aren't getting the message. Oh my goodness. So then, Captain John and his crew investigated their strange underworld surroundings, and they found the 3 shards of the Gem of Immortality, which is created by the dark wizard Mondane, way back in Ultima 1. Back when the Stranger was saving Sosaria. In Britannia, it was just a glint in the eye of Lord British. Weird little... I don't think the weird patch of hills up here in the swamp is going to be the place of darkness, but no. Leave it alone, corpsers. evil forces possessed Captain John, he killed his 3 surviving shipmates. Their blood dripped onto the 3 shards, and from their blood, the Shadowlords were born. Did the shards of the immortality gem thus become the shards of hatred, falsehood, and cowardice there? Wow, so then the Shadowlords were not grateful to their creator. Instead, they refused to let him die. Classic evil demon trope. And they constantly came back to show him all the pain they were causing Britannia. They even showed him how they kidnapped Lord British and dragged him to the center of the Underworld. See, I can see now that kind of the game design assumption was that you're likely to find despise first of dungeons, and then you get to the bottom, and then the assumption is you're going to wander around a bit. Whereas I wandered a very tiny amount and said, you know what, this place seems big and like I get lost. I should come back here when I have a reason. And I was never given an explicit reason. And then Captain John will join you. Jeez, if I was ever going to have put an NPC from this game in my crew, like a new one that wasn't just, ELO's wife, was going to join the crew, I totally would have made this Captain John part of the crew. He's got a real vested interest, eh? And he joins as a level 5. Yikes. Yeah, jeez. That would have been beneficial at the time. It took a while to get Janna to being a level 5 mage. Sand traps. Oh, I never looked for a sand trap. I do regret that. I know that they're monsters that appear in the desert, and I assume they kind of operate... Do they operate like corpsers? Like dragging your party members under? Ah. So if you do find these rare enemies, they're fairly easy to cheese as long as you're equipped for ranged combat. The sand traps, folks, don't move, or can't move off of sand tiles and don't have ranged attacks. Well, done a lot of aimless wandering here. Haven't turned up a place of darkness. though it seems quite possible. I heard somewhere, quite possibly from you and or Stimpinski, that they were a great source of treasure. Okay. What am I doing here? I mean, I'm wandering aimlessly. That's what I'm doing. Alright, fine. You want it? You got it. It's not hard to imagine a world where some of the early going of the journey could have gone a lot easier for me. Unlimited food. By the way, absolutely thrilled to hear you say that I generally just missed minor details. Like this Captain John seems like a big oversight, and I can see literally how I made it. Good. I was gonna be pissed if that dragon got away after all this. Victory. Matryoshka doll of treasures here. No, you were very, very, very good at guiding without, you know, telling. The Bodhisattva, probably not pronouncing that correctly, but you know, guiding me to my own enlightenment. You both did a fine job of that. Like the most explicit you had to get was to say, you were basically like, look, you already heard this. You do everything you did to find out Astaroth's name. Was the most explicit you ever got, and that was at the end of this 90-hour journey we've been on together. When I reached the point. Okay, and so here we are now. Let's review for the folks at home who aren't in the know. Here is what the Codex told me. Beyond Shame's Egress, in the center of the Underworld, there is a place of darkness. Beyond this darkness lies the gate of the lore of the world. When thou art ready, thou must call forth Veramakor. Veramakor. I've been test yelling it and spelling it wrong. To unlock the gate and venture past ethereal wards and dealers of souls. That which the world hath lost awaits thy coming. So, Lord British is beyond this... beyond the place of darkness where we find the gate of the lore of the world. So the trick is, I gotta find the place of darkness. I've not been successful thus far. But we have time. Greetings, Stimpinski! You just missed British breaking down everything I missed for me as I stumbled around in the Underworld trying to find this place of darkness. Right. Well, I don't know if it's hard to find. Part of the problem is that I have been looking for it whilst also chatting and paying attention to the chat. So it's probably not very hard to find. Yeah, if it's the center of the Underworld and everything kind of lines up because the world's on top of the Underworld, that would imply that I'm trying to get, like, east and south? Which is not at all where I am. So what if I tried that? Oops, it's not going south at all. Tried to avoid the corpsers, got corpsed anyway. Well, fell prey to my stumble into the poison swamp at the start of the battle you weren't expecting problem. Mongbats. Leave me alone, Mongbats. I'm working on something. This place of lots of lava seems promising. Oh, right. Oops. Well, whatever. We're tough. Not to say we couldn't get some sleep. Feel a bit better. Keep an eye out, Julia. I might have been thinking too metaphorically when I was imagining what the place of darkness I was looking for was. Or maybe literally is what I'm trying to say. I do not have a level 8 mage. We've got no level 8s. Ah, okay, no, I wasn't thinking too literally. There is a big black hole. You might have seen me cast and Tim, but not from, having mixed it up myself to use. Just from the old-fashioned way of finding a scroll for it. Do I look like I'm in the mood for this, Mr. Sea Serpent? kill it, Gwenno. Yes, it doesn't look like there's a not getting covered in lava way in here. So we do want to be in better condition. Well, first, we make it that far without getting lavaed. But not much further. We did just rest. Hold on. Let's try this. Wait. No. No, of course it's not going to let you get around the lava. Okay, how much damage? Not that much. Oh hey, it's a big place of darkness. Okay. We're not moving. Didn't think that was going to work out. Okay, hold on now. Well, all the lava flows just kind of come into this area. Can we get on the magic carpet? Yes, but we still don't seem to be moving. I'm open to a hint. Absolutely. Don't even need to read them. It's a mystery. Well, I'm going to try both. Because I suspected the amulet, but... Okay. There's a big invisible field of darkness. I hadn't put that together. That the darkness was actually forming a barrier, but obviously that's what was happening. I was thinking like, oh, I'm bumping into a wall in the darkness. Oh, hey. What do you know? Looks like a dungeon entrance. Can we camp here? In theory, we should get a great sleep, right? The darkest room you've ever gone to sleep in. Well, not a ton of healing there, but I suppose we also have... Let's just remind ourselves here. 99 Vasmani, so I think we'll be okay. Let's throw in a save. Let me, you know what? Let's reread. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Yes, the description of the amulet was super clear about this. I have seen the amulet which Lord British once wore. It lies forgotten in the underworld amongst the graves of valiant warriors. Only with this can thee find thy place in a path in a place of unholy darkness, which I have foreseen shall block thy way. Oops. I was literally thinking wear the amulet while you walk through the gate of lore for some reason. Okay. Okay. Shouldn't have needed that hint, but I appreciate it. Here we go. Warming up my yelling hands. Whoops. Gotta get my DOSBox window up. Here we go. So, if you're wondering, what is this word, waffle syrup? If you're wondering, Veramakor. It is a young man, the young Richard Garriott, when he was making Ultima 4. It's his clumsy attempt to get good Latin roots for the principles of truth, love, and courage, and then concatenate elements of them into a single word. So, like, ver comes from, veracity or veritas. And ammo obviously comes from some, whatever, the Latin of amor, amoro, or whatever. And then, but from what I understand, the core part does not actually come from a word that is best understood to refer to courage. So he did drop the ball on 1/3 of the translation. But we should say in his defense, not only was he a very young man undertaking an immense, probably one of the most ambitious video game writing tasks ever done up to that point, but he didn't have the internet. So, here we go. A word of power is uttered. Let's step beyond the gate of all the lore of the world, shall we? Oops. Here we are. In level 1, in a cave room surrounded with the same weird purple barriers that the Shadowlords themselves created. Let's take a few steps around, find out if we're going to be ambushed here. Doesn't look like we are. So the Avatar is going to take the lead. And, well, first let's just walk. See if there's a gimmick foot switch. There's no going back, I note. Okay. You know what? I ought to use the scepter before I... Yeah, okay. Before I should assume it's a magic barrier that only the scepter can defeat before I bumble around looking for magic switches in this alternate dimension beyond the gate of all the lore of the world. Fire up a torch. Alright, it's a basic cave dungeon so far, but that's okay. That makes sense, Stimpinski, since it looks exactly like a Shadowlord battle arena, except that it's like an open arena to allow 3 of them to swarm you. Okay. Here we are, the final dungeon. Level 1. Pretty straightforward. I'll leave myself 2 spots, and then here we go. 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. 2 over. 3 down. Oops, no. 2 over, but starting from 1 up. And then 3 down. Perfect. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over. Because this is very symmetrical shape. And before the last 2, a 2 that comes up. And also right here, 2 that come out. And then right above that, 3, no, just 2 over. And a thing up. And then here goes 2 down. And then above we go 1, 2, 3, 4 over. 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2 over. 1 up. Here we have another little wall like that. And then 1, 2. And then 2 more past it. And then over like that. And up. We have it. We have the room in the center that we escaped from. And we have... seems likely that you can break barriers in 4 corners. Or on all 4 sides of that room. Since it exits to all 4 sides. Which all lead to ladders down. So we have A... I'll call them A, B, C, and D. Why not? And we have no reason to believe one's better than the other. Let's go down and see what we find. Level 2. Immediately fiendish. Not at all surprised by that. Oh. Sir. Must we? Alright, alright. Leave myself 2 at the top. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 2 in. 2 down. 3 in. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And there. 1, 2 over. 1, 2 up. 1, 2 over here. And 3 up. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 there. 2 up. 1, 2 over. 1, 2 there. 1, 2, 3 there. We'll go up 4 here. 2 over and 3 down. And 2 over and done something wrong. What have I done wrong? Ah, that's wrong. There. 1, 2, 3 down. And then this just closes. Okay. Got the walls. And then, for better or for worse, the rest of it is all just ladders. Including one right at the center. It goes both up and down. Back up. Oops. And presumably I'm, of course, standing on a ladder that goes back up. So in total we have, my goodness, 4 ladders down, 4 ladders up, and an up-down ladder. Now, instinct would suggest that the 4 pure up ladders go back to the 4 possible downs, which would just be great if it was true. Let's find it. Yeah. We have a billion gems. Yeah, okay. There, that's nice. But then one immediately wonders, does this just go up into the room that we started in? Or does it do something else? Puts us in... Yeah, okay, great. That works for me. All right. So now we have 4 down ladders as well as this up-down ladder that goes up and down. So let's find out, let's see where this will take us. Step 1. Into a room. Just a sad room. Not a super tough battle. Unless, you know, there's a gimmick, which there easily could be. Oh no, John is poisoned. What do we do? Do we have any hand knocks left? My goodness. Oh ho ho. We have some friends. I see you laughing, British, that I said 4 down, and I'm gravely disturbed by the implications of that laughing. But time will tell. Let's see what happens here. Obviously, we have some sadly locked up friends. Or do we? Oh, blocked. What am I blocked by? Am I blocked by an invisible barrier? No. Oh, the blood was just covering a rock. Oh, okay. We do have a hidden push switch puzzle. Four ladders up. I don't like the fact that there's 4 ladders up and what that might imply. But let's do what we gotta do. Battle is lost. Okay. Alright, so there were more foes. Oh, hey, you know what? This would be a great time to try out a spell that I've never used. We're going back. You know the rats will be back, because the battle respawns if you don't clear it entirely. Avatar is poisoned. Okay. Hello, my friend. Let's find out what Whiz-Quas is all about. Well, whatever it does, it's not what I was hoping. Okay, Probably it just makes ghosts that have gone invisible reappear and stuff like that. And not tells you where these jerks are hiding beyond the... Oh, there it was. I suppose we have the option, once we've widened the room, we're trying to bash beyond. Nah. Alright. Whatever's there, it's there. So what if we took different... Can we take different ladders? Because they're all... Yep, okay. Oh well. Lost a battle. Okay. Let's try a down ladder. Let's try the southwest down ladder. We'll call that down ladder Z. Here we go. Alright. Hey, there's a pit. If we climb up that pit, what happens? Oh, we get to fight a bunch of dragons. Oops. You know what we could use? Is this the right one? We could use some backup. We summoned a demon. And I control it. I like that. He got the... Oops. Oh dear. Janna killed. We have resurrect scrolls. Let's see how this fight goes. Oh no! We all have the mystic armor on. Say, should Shimino and the Avatar have... Well, no, they've already gotten kills here. So there's not a thing where Shimino and the Avatar's things aren't working. Fucking bad interfering. Get out of here. Ah, see, I had a feeling when you asked the question that was why, because that kind of... It's the flip side of only the mystic weapons doing damage in the Codex dungeon. The Stygian Abyss. Okay, this is not going well for the good guys. Since, among other things, we came in roughed up already. Okay, we're just getting slaughtered. You know what? Let's try this again. I got off on a bad foot there. By going into a battle unprepared. Which we will not do this time. Because check it out. Oof. Okay. We can do it. Wrong button. That's okay. Because I'm going to save a bunch of gems since I no longer need to map. Why not go into the final dungeon of the game at full health, right? Okay. A dark cave. Okay. Here we go. Let's do it right this time. No, we should be going all out. And you weren't here at the end last week, Waffle Syrup, so I'll just share with you that I do have 99 of each reagent, in addition to very close to the spell limit on all the spells that I like to cast, and then some that I haven't even cast, like Zenkor, the kill spell. That's unlikely to work on a dragon, I think. And we can start whipping out Zenkor, summon demons. There's no reason I couldn't have had 2 demons on the team. Helping us club on those dragons. Yeah, Stimpinski raises a good option too, which is that we could have 12 demons over to celebrate with us when we have a raid. 13, because we'll invite Sinvral to come out from the desert. Yeah, the risk with Tim scrolls, of course, is that they take your crown off, since only one symbol of what's going on can appear in this position at a time. So if the time stop symbol has to go there, it knocks the crown right off your head because there's no space for it. I'm fighting giant spiders in the final dungeon. That's boring. Okay, before we leap up into that room, why don't we take a moment and map the floor? Oh, what do you know? There's some secrets. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Yeah. No, I don't have 99 of every spell because I'm no good at magic. In real life, I can't cast any spells. In games, I never make thorough enough use of the magic. So I have 99 of every spell I know I want 99 of, and then 50 something of some spells that I like. Not quite a Boy Scout. I am... My motto is be sort of prepared. You know, don't be unprepared. Sure, don't need to be that prepared. Alright, and there were 4 ladders down... 4 ladders going back up from here. So far, this dungeon presents a mix of appearing immensely complex, and then appearing to not be as complex as it initially appeared. Yet one wonders which impression is the correct impression, right? Giant. Alright, fine. Yeah, now that giant spider knew. Let's try this room again. Why not? Heck, we'll even save. Why not? Oh, I know why not. Because now we're in it for good. Well, nothing to be done for it now. Let's start fighting. Shimino, get us a buddy in here right now. Oh, 15. So we could have 16 demons at the party. 15 now. Anyhow, I'm making a lot of assumptions about Sinvral's availability. And he, like, I don't know if he really strikes me as a big party demon. You know what I mean? Maybe more of a solemn reflection on how hatred is bad type demon. Alright. Just gotta remember to put the crown on when time restarts. Folks, while they're frozen, we really ought to be scoring better hits on them, right? Julia, it's your turn to wear the crown. Oh no, our demon is heavily wounded. But he's put some light wounds on. Screw it. Time out! Okay, finally. And our demon friend, if this lasts for another round, he might get a kill, all on his own. Okay, this is coming together for the team. Demon has, in effect, a halberd. I like that. Oh, no. Ranged attack. Demon lasers. Can he get the job done? He's in critical condition. Oh no. Alright. I think we'll get the glory of the kill there. Oh? I mean... No? Ah. Yeah. Oh? Well, obviously the bats are going to have a hard time getting the kill on our demon, but... There he goes. He fought well. I wonder how many Kalzankor or Antim scrolls we might get back from the 4 dragon caches. Oh, except that this dragon knows the score. He's trying to die over the water so we can't have his treasure. Let's kill the bats to give him space to come closer. Oops, sorry Shimino. Thank goodness. Might be hard to... Is it possible to get to that? I'm not sure. At least this one's coming forward. Lightly. Oh, missed and killed a bat. It's progress. There we go. Oh, grazed. Lightly. Heavily. We're making progress. Critical. And he's done. Alright. Clean it up, team. In fact, Gweno. Oh, no. There we go. Gweno, you're on bat slaying duty. Slaying bats is really more of a level 6 hero job. Us level 7s, you know, we need to rest up. Okay. Oh, of course, it's not over. There are hidden foes. Suppressed by the might of the crown. Ring of Invisibility. I haven't tried those out at all, and they're probably worth investigating. I know there's a complex trap on this. Why am I searching for it? You don't need to look for what you know is there. A gem. Not that I was at all. Okay. Is that Inquas Wiz? Well. Spiked collar. Okay, now. Does this option exist? No. Now we gotta figure out how to get out of here. Oh wait, no we don't. It's right here. But there's the cave entrance on the other side. Which does incline one to believe there's some kind of trick, but... Well... Might be something I come back to. Shimino, can you find these dudes that are hiding? Mong bats? Okay. So what's the way to open this place where the Mong bats lurk? Not that we need to open it before they're dead. Okay. It's not about pushing on something. Thinking of using Impor to get to the other side, but I only have one mixed. And there's something still alive over there. This is tough, because I really don't want to leave this room. It's going to turn out to be important to come back to it. But none of the familiar ways. How mysterious. None of us know how to swim. Waffle syrup. We're too used to just sitting on a carpet that kind of glides along the surface of the water. Okay. All the ways I'm familiar with for revealing secrets in these rooms are pushing things, hitting things, and stepping on foot switches. None of those seem to be getting the job done. Also seems likely that either there's something hidden, there's an enemy lurking right down in this corner, or there's an enemies here or here. So what is the trick to opening the route? Let me remind myself what spells exist. Well, what do you think, team? Should I abandon this room, or should I keep plugging away at it? Do some due diligence on my touching stuff, and make sure that I've shot all the squares. But usually you shoot not the walls. Yeah, it doesn't... That was a thought... Oh wait, what about... Yeah. Shooting the waterfall was a thought I had, because usually you gotta shoot something that's not just the wall. But shooting the waterfall doesn't seem to do anything. I want to know what's through that cave mouth. Particularly since it seems entirely possible that that's the way to the actual route through the dungeon. I don't know. Who knows? I'd be so much more comfortable leaving this room behind if I'd finished the battle, but there's just like one Mongbat lurking beyond my ken. Alright. Let's bite the bullet and continue exploring. I'm waiting a moment to see if that elicits protest from the chat. Okay. Put a pin in it. Weird room. Possible alternate route. Mystery I'm not sure how to solve. Obviously, coming back in here with a bunch of in-pour mixed would allow us to get to... No, Shimino couldn't do it. Do I have any in-pour scrolls? Time will tell. So otherwise, level 3... It's just these secret doors in the south, besides the ways back. A hidden door. Another hidden door. Leading to rooms, it seems. What's your status? Spell point wise. Jana, throw a vast money to your avatar there. Elo's a little roughed up, but that's his way. It leads to a room. Yeah, that was my thoughts, Stimpinski. If I have to spin back there, I suppose if one person can in-lore to the other side, import to the other side, and there's a foot switch, well, I'll remember that if it turns out to be a thing that I need to do. Ah, how I love to have the crown on. The avatar of all virtue, nobly camping to get cheap kills and cheese his enemies. Be great if they stand still, and yet at the same time, I'm kind of loath to use an and Tim scroll just to make cheesing a fight easier. Do that when there's actual risk to be dealt with. Oh well, at least one of them is lightly wounded. One of them is heavily wounded. I like that. Now, if I were these demons, I'd be using a strategy of taking a step back and then taunting the avatar about how he can't reach me. No, Inpour, I haven't used it in combat, but it is explained in the Book of Lore. It's an anytime spell. It's just it's much more restricted. Lars, hello. Yes, I am beyond the gate of all the lore of the world, trying to find our dear Lord British. Currently, just laughing at how the Shadowlords set up this really, really sloppy security system, where their guards have no way to get to me. Haha. Of course, once these guys are critical, I'm gonna be a little more hesitant to, or not. Okay, now they're all critical. Yeah, like, surely at this point they should have enough intelligence about their enemy to know that he has weapons that can reach exactly 5 feet beyond Gemini Rue. Tell me about it, Lars. I don't think I've even heard of that. One down. Oh, one of them wasn't critical, but he is now. the avatar of all virtue, not the avatar of great aim. Oh, cool. Just from the title alone, I'm gonna guess more serious in tone than Space Quest. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, why is the Avatar doing this? When he has a big burly dude with a halberd. There. Thank you, Shimino. Oh, you son of a bitch. Alright. He's gonna come into the range in a moment here. I'm gonna bite the bullet. Fine. Coming to get you. Oh, and then of course he steps forward. I guess because you can get to hit him. All right. Once again. So Lars is saying in this Gemini Rue, and that's the title. There's two characters, and you get both of their perspectives. Are you swapping back between them, or is it like do the quest with one of them and then do it with the other one and find out what was going on from their perspective? That's the way of a point-click game. Wisps. Sorry, Wisp. Oh, so there's more. Okay. So the Gemini in the title isn't telling us there are two characters. I would love for one battle. Oh, excellent point, British. Stacked wisps. Victory. That's what we like to hear. Descending. Now if we got to backtrack, we don't have to backtrack through these demons in close quarters combat. Well. Okay. Making a note to myself that this particular route leads to a pass-through. Didn't think there was anything there, but just to be sure. And here we are. Level 5. 3 ladders up, 2 ladders down, 2 pits we can crawl up, and a room in the middle. Interesting dungeon so far. I'm remembering with dread that the gimmick of the Stygian Abyss in Ultima 4 was that it was deceptive. It was surprisingly easy for much of it. And then you got to the 6th level and it was horrible maze of rooms that connect in obscure ways. It was just a big drag. That one floor was the hardest part of the game for me. Okay. I'm saying 3 ladders up when I'm obviously standing on the 4th. Now the big difference here is that it wasn't obvious to me that there were 4 ladders down. Which makes me think those 2 ladders up on the sides of the room might lead to a 4th floor that we can explore. 2 pits to go up. Alright. Anybody in real bad condition? Nah, we're doing okay. Let's check this room out first. It's a Shadowlord-y kind of room. Suppose I want to carve a way through here, though at the same time, oh yeah, can't even hit these dudes. Gotta cut our way to them. Also, doesn't seem like a super necessary room. But we're in it. So let's do this. Oh. The red ground doesn't hurt me? Oh, but they're stacked, of course. Whoops. Does Jana have an angle from there? She's an angle on the avatar. Whoops. Sorry, Shimino. It didn't look like it. Oh, I could have cheesed it with my halberd. Or my Morning Star. Because the ranged weapons kept missing. Or maybe I just assumed too early that they were missing. Well, let's do a fair fight with these demons. Just in the interest of being heroes. And then we'll cheese the rest of them. Yeah, there's nowhere for you to run. Oof. Avatar takes one in the face. Takes one in the back. We really gotta start hitting this demon team. Oh, good. A palpable hit. Gets him from lightly to heavily. That's a fair point, British. That I literally just used these purple barriers to cheese the fight. And should have realized that I could once again do that. Okay. And they're stacked. For this next move, I like to picture that Shimino went over to the barrier and went, "Scepter!" And the Avatar just tossed it to him. We don't need to be careful with the regalia of Lord British. We're coming to see... Is he going to get mad at us that we scratched up his scepter? Tossing it around like a toy? When we save his entire kingdom, overthrow the Blackthorn dictatorship, all this... Get out of here. Boom. Ah, you got me there, Stimpinski. Well, oh, here's my counter argument. Because Stimpinski points out that I was all like, let's give these demons a fair fight when I have a crown on that negates their magic. But one might argue that possessing your opponents and forcing them to kill their friends is also not a fair fight. And that wearing the crown makes it a fair fight. Especially because we didn't cast any spells either. At least, that's how I would justify it to Hawkwind the Seer. If he was like, I gotta lower your justice score, buddy. Alright, we won. There's no treasure, and that's fine. We're on our way to win the game. What do we need treasure for? Okay. Let's... Do we want to go up? Into what's probably a room with a fight? Let's just keep going down. Waffle Syrup, I have thought about displaying the chat on screen, and I absolutely will. Perhaps even when I start the next Let's Play. It's not that much work. It's just that I put in no work at all to upgrade the display at all since I started, just because it's been hectic. But it's about to be break, such as it is. I also might lose my job. It's not likely. But if I find out that I'm not doing this job beyond May, I'm not necessarily going to keep on doing the above and beyond building a career long-term guy that I've been doing for the past 7 years. Now, again, though, you know, I better knock on wood here, because I would like to just keep my job, keep doing what I'm doing. Although I am doing the tedious work of exploring what other opportunities are available to me. This one seems simple enough. Well, this is the big... Here's the thing. Like, they've been saying, and it could still be, like... They've been saying it so explicitly, I can't imagine how it would be a lie, but, like... The probationary position for, like, career stream has been, you know... They've been telling me for quite some time that it's just about to be posted, and it keeps not being posted. At the same time, I can't imagine why they would want to get rid of me, or why the particular people who've told me these positive sounding things would lie to me. So I think I'm just I'm just, I don't know. Okay. Let's get the Avatar, who fights on the front lines, back to full fighting form. Don't need to worry that much about conserving our vast money. Oh, heck. Have one, Elo. You're a hero, Waffle Syrup. Putting on the crown. Here we go. Yeah, I knew this was going to be some bullshit. Oh, wait. We're the ones with the bullshit, though. Stupid dragons. The Shadowlords really didn't think through their dungeon design here. They've designed so many traps for the Avatar. Oh my god, did the dragons take damage when they go on the lava? Why do these dragons just die? Okay, fine. Way too many traps for the Avatar that rely on the Avatar forgetting that he has a weapon that can reach over walls. Or maybe all the Shadowlords did in their prep for knowledge about human weapons was they just read about how actual human weapons work. Because with an actual halberd, you can't reach over a wall if it connects to the ceiling and kill the person on the other side. Now there's obviously some horrible trick to this room, right? The battle's not over. The Avatar is standing in lava because there are foot switches. And there are wisps or some shit hiding somewhere. Well, let's zap all the barriers. Sneaky demon. Not sneaky enough, but you tried. And how nice to find there's not another one. We'll have Shimino do the bottom ones because he'll get the job done faster. The dragons were wise about their treasure. Very hard to loot all that treasure while standing in the lava. Taking lava damage every time you pick something up. We win. That's nice. Alright, Avatar, you're a tough guy. We're going to find out if there's a gimmick to this room by having you walk across the lava. Doesn't look like it. I should try the other side. I'll survive it. Yeah. Nothing to do but go back up. Unless, again, there's a gimmick in that room. Now, odds are, if we go to the other side, take the other ladder down, it will merely be the other side of that place. Which leaves us with the question of, is there a gimmick here? So, what I think I'm going to do, before I go beating my head against that wall, let's find out what other walls there are to smash my head against. We go up the pit, and we arrive on a level 4 that seems to be all pits. Including hidden pits that take us to a level 5 that is an endless maze of many pits. All seeming to go up. Okay. It's a waste of a gem, but I need to look at this game. Endless 5th floor. Has... How often does it repeat? Okay, there's actually only 4 pits. Technically. 4 pits up. The one that I'm standing on, the one's 2 spots to the east and west of me, and one that's 2 east and 3 north, or 2 east, 3 south, or X, you know. It's an endless repeating floor. So, let's try the one that's not in this row of 3 first. Whoops. If we go up that pit, We're on a different level 4, aren't we? Oh, but there's a pit. This level 5 is nothing but a stairway down. And it takes me to a different level 6. Okay, no need to map this one. This is a pretty straightforward idea. Let's go to the room. And then we'll get to one of those downs first. Yeah, you better run, Ghost. Because I ain't afraid of no Ghost. Oh well. We do gotta fight you. Critical already. You pitiful Ghost. Oops. Yeah. I'd say his combat skills were pretty insubstantial. You see what I did there? Every bad joke is improved if you immediately yearn for your audience's approval of the bad joke. I don't think that's actually true. But it's sometimes the way I choose to play it. You know what? I got an in-class. I have told every engineering class except possibly my online one last year the same one joke. It's a statistics joke. 3 statisticians go hunting. And the first one, they see a deer, and the first one knocks his arrow, and he shoots his arrow, and he misses about 10 feet to the left of the deer. His arrow sticks in a tree. The second statistician notches an arrow, and he looses it. And he misses the deer about 10 feet to the left, sticks in a tree. And the third statistician goes, "Got him!" And I've told that joke in every year except, again, possibly the pandemic year, that I've taught this course. And for the first time this week, a young woman burst out laughing when I hit the punchline. Usually I tell it to stunned silence, because I think the students are like, you are actually the funny teacher. We usually laugh at your jokes. Why is your joke so bad all of a sudden? I think it's a great joke, but thank you, Waffle Syrup. I think it's a fine joke. Another joke that I usually get exactly like one laugh from, that I again didn't get a chance to share with the online class, but I bring in panels of engineers, professional engineers. He wore something related to pie. So, like, did the shirt have the pie symbol on it? Or did the shirt have a pie on it? But then he tied it in with a I need more information. Yeah, one of the professional engineers I bring in to talk to my students to, try to give them a sense of what professional engineers actually do is, his name's Steve Ramsey, and he is the founder, owner, of a consulting firm called MCA Consultants. So I like to say, we're in for a treat tonight, folks, because we've got Steve Ramsey from MCA Consultants, one of Halifax's finest consulting firms, way better than Mike D Consultants. And then like one older student always laughs, and then I say, just go to Wikipedia and look up the Beastie Boys, kids. Oh, wow. But it was a Christmas lesson because at Christmas, he was going for the pie wordplay. Oh, I did make that one, Waffle Syrup. I'm glad to hear that, because that's a great joke. That you know, I know I'm telling it to the wrong audience because how many 18-year-olds are going to at this stage immediately recognize that I'm playing on the names of the Beastie Boys. Like, at this point, if we assume that most people start getting into grown-up music when they're like 12 or 13, probably some of the students, there's never been a new Beastie Boys record, sadly, due to MCA's passing. Oops, not Shimino. Gweno. Heal thyself. Okay. So, before anything else, let's just go up and see what happens. Ah, that's fair, British. You have a good excuse too. It's not an age thing. It's because you're German. So it seems entirely plausible to me that 80s American hip hop and 90s alternative, because the Beastie Boys had a long career, was not necessarily as prevalent. But the Beastie Boys are a hip hop group, and the three members are Ad Rock, Mike D, and MCA. And MCA was probably either MCA or Ad Rock. Like, people argue over which of them is the better rapper, but no one ever says like Mike D's the best rapper in the Beastie Boys. Okay, level 7 is a pretty simple looking place. Ah, yes. B.A. Baracus and I should know the names. I haven't watched that much A-Team, but I should be able to remember the names of them. But I can't. Only the one Mr. T played. I do know the catchphrase of the leader, which is "I love it when a plan comes together." Hey, are those sand traps? Yep. Well, there. I got to encounter sand traps after all. Why would we go toe to toe with the? You know what? Whatever. We're in it now. This would be a fine. Actually, only 2 dragons. Sand trap barely wounded. So they're all. Yeah, they look like they're gonna be tough. So, I mean, this is a tough battle. I didn't come into it prepared. I haven't saved. Alright. Let's fall back, team. Battle's lost. To our eternal shame. That's okay. That's okay. Let's throw save down. Have we adventured long enough to rest again? So I'd love to have my magic points, my mana, my spell points, whatever you want to call them, back. Party rested. Love to see it. Okay, let's see what's down. It seems too easy for this to be the down to the true bottom floor. But wouldn't you like to believe? Was that supposed to be a secret, British? Because now I know. Alright, no way out here. Have I come to the other side of this? Yes, I have. Was there anything else down there? Okay. I should try the room. We should try the room. Obviously, we don't have our crown on. And we want to go into this room healthy. So let's go, team. This isn't, like... I don't think this is the toughest room I've faced. But it is tough. Cannot hurt to be prepared. I should have realized that, British, because you don't strike me as the sort to accidentally type a private message into the chat. Okay. Okay. Crown. Let's clear this room and find out if there's a secret way down. Okay. What do we want to do here strategically? This is probably a good time to have time stand still for a minute. We have 7 of these, so we don't want to go crazy with it. But let's slow down time and see if we can off a dragon. It's true. Like it, I certainly trust you enough that you could take advantage of my trust to make a fool of me on the internet. Okay, well, we didn't kill a dragon, but we roughed it up a little. Let's put the crown on and see how the fight goes. But Gweno, why don't you get us some support? We won't work on the demons just yet, so that we don't accidentally kill our friend the demon. Did something go wrong with the summoning of a demon? I can't help but notice that I don't actually have a demon friend. Okay. This would be a fine time to stop time again, I think. We gotta be... Well, you know... This is the boldest I've ever been with like really precious items. Let's kill this one. Concentrate our fire. Keeping a careful eye out for that moment when timer starts. Heavily wounded. Good shot, buddy. Oh, god damn. In the instant of time coming off, 2 of us got possessed. Okay. Okay. Do I have... No. Okay. Yep. Oh, now Elo's possessed. Alright. All hope is lost. Let's load that save and do this right. Okay. Here we are. Put the crown on. Perhaps we want to focus on the demons so that when we stop time to fight the dragons, we're not taking on as much risk. As good a theory as any. It went well for a period of time. And after that period of time, it went very poorly. Not the time for friendly fire, team. It's only lightly wounded. Yikes. Okay. Time stop gimmick with a focus on killing the demons. I mean, we can go toe-to-toe with 2 dragons when the time comes. It does not feel optional. So I appreciate that that guarded confirmation of my suspicion that I gotta do this room. Do we fight or do we gimmick it one more time? One more gimmick. Especially since our 2 dudes are roughed up. Trying to get a sense of the sand traps. I will plead for tactical advice if it comes to seem necessary. Did I wind up? I'll find it in a moment. Well, I like that poison wind spell. It was everything I hoped it would be. Let's put the crown on. One sand trap killed. We're gonna get to find out how tasty that treasure truly is. Okay. Poison wind is 7th circle. Elo. Cast of Asmani, he can't do it. In fact, yeah, let's... There we go. A buddy demon. That'll be helpful. Okay. Well, it was still fun to do Poison Wind once. And next time we have one of our weaker buddies. Don't know why I'm here. Yeah, Gweno's a good candidate. There. Now we have 2 demons. We have more demons than they do. they're going to draw fire, even as they also... Alright, have good grocery shopping, Waffle Syrup. It seems likely to me that Saturday is the day that we get to the end, or maybe it just turns out I'm almost there. So, we'll see. We'll see. You can watch the replay if you missed the climactic battle. Alright, this is coming together for the good guys. And then we get the yips. There we go. With his last act, that demon did what he could. Now let's go all in on the other demon. He's already critical. And he's dead. Oh, we killed our own demon with friendly fire. Oops. There. And then we killed the bad one. And now we kill the sand traps. Keep an eye on the Avatar's health. Ah, don't even need to anymore. We have a wall of treasure to keep these things away from us. And I don't think... Yeah, that one... Right, because of the thing where they can't move. Alright, Gwenno. Oh, but this one can. Okay. Whole team back on point. Well, we kill this one. Then Gwenno can... take care of the other one. All on her own. Then Shimino's gonna have some serious loot gathering work to do. He really wants to flee. And we seem inclined to let it get away. It's dead. Yes! That was what made... I forgot about the other one. And realized, this one's boxed in. Can't move because it's all surrounded with sand. That's how I let the other one get so close to me. The sand trap rap. I don't think I can come up with one off the top of my head. My name's the Avatar, and I'm here to say the sand trap in the middle don't get no play. No trap? Of course it's trapped. What were you thinking, Shimino? You're right. The music's still playing. Well, we're taking a loot break. I suppose technically potions are still helpful. Oh. Yeah. There's the not optional. Okay. Let's clear this thing out. Or can we? They took care. You're not getting through this. Like, getting through this without the crown would be quite a task. Considering how many wisps there are everywhere. Also explains, I was like, why didn't those demons disappear on that failed attempt? Okay, is there a way, because I'm thinking the remaining wisps are hidden in the top corner. Same time, I didn't kill two down here, I don't think. But there's... Well, keep getting the treasure. Oh, good point. Good point, British. Yep. So... Hold on. Yeah, so there are wisps there. I don't think any of us have enough magic to cast, like, kill or anything, really. Because, yeah, there are wisps in those top corners. I suppose we also just have the option of carrying on and hoping we don't have to come back up through this room. That could end in tears. Complex trap. That's what I was expecting. Scroll of Vast Lore. Great light. The torch economy in this game. Light spells don't get a lot of play. Galzan Core. Replenishing. In Mani Core. Nice. Inan. Made that obsolete. Suppose in... What can get into those corners, Timpinski? In Mani Core. Suppose one possible solution. No. No. I was gonna say we could take off the crown and hope they come out instead of just possessing us. But why would they do that? There'd be no reason for them to do that. Hold on. Vast Lore. Relpoor, which is, as we've discussed, not at all what I was constantly saying it was. Oh, it's Relher. Wind change. It's useless. Instinct, invisible. It's not going to do it. Inan, negate magic. Yes, British. I want to win. Inquas Wiz. Isn't going to do anything. Kalzin Core, Inmani Core, and Tim. Yeah, absolutely. Because, like, ultimately, I'm just going to skip the room without finishing it and hope that I don't have to come back. So, it shouldn't be too big of a reveal. And you very kindly... There were many times that you kindly didn't reveal whatever you're about to reveal to me. Right here at the end. Oh! Fascinating. Okay, let's do it. Because we have a ton of rings. It's a fun gimmick. Is the Avatar just not wearing a ring? What the hell? What was I thinking there? I don't... Hello? There's a time when I was all like, I need all these invisibility rings so I can get into Blackthorn's castle. Jana doesn't ever... Okay. When we get out of here, out of this one, I'm gonna give some thought to the ring equipment. Oh! Fascinating. I guess the idea is it's the ring's magic dying. That's fine. And the crown. Oops. Crown comes off. The wisp comes out to play. Well, they're not just leaving. They want to fight. But that's fine. I would prefer killing them to letting them run. Okay, fair enough with the friendly fire, since he's invisible. Let's make sure... Oops. You don't want Shimino to get killed. Well, I'm glad I didn't use invisible rings, not knowing about the ring vanishing gimmick. Oops. Even easier to waste people's turns when they all have the same look. A great victory. Okay. Now, all that said, Let's oh, right, I also could have just brought them out and crowned up. That's a very good point, Stimpinski. I think we've got a substantial stream delay going here. Yellow definitely needs protection for his ring. That makes sense, British. Give them all the same weapon, and then you're never at risk of misinterpreting your range. Have a regen ring, Gweno. And Janna... even though it makes no sense for her, I like the mage graphic. So none of us shall be invisible. Unless we need to be for another purpose. Let's see what's down here. Being that it's 5:40, I do think that we are wrapping this up next Saturday and not today. Which is fine by me. Unless this ladder is... We go down here. Okay. I have a plan. Finally going to use some Resurrect Scrolls. We did use one once for Yellow, but we're going to use those ones we just found. I should have realized the odds of descending into another room were high. But the room is clear. We've saved the game. Let's hole on up. And Julia, you're on watch. I guess Gweno has full health too. Should have but didn't. Yeah. I got lulled into a false sense of security by a thing that has nothing to do with the game. It's like, well, it's, it's near the end of the stream. You can't have, nothing climactic can just suddenly happen when we're about to stop. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Oh, I would have been... I mean, I wouldn't have been that upset because I would have laughed at myself and then I would have said, well, this is a good place to stop for today and we'll know next time. But I'm glad that one room's clear and there's no real good reason not to do this whole rigmarole. Hold on. What is ELO's... Alright. ELO do to... Wait, no. Vasmani is 5th circle. Nobody can do 2 except the Avatar and Janna. And Janna, you get yourself with Mani. Not so much to preserve spells as to preserve spell points. Alright. Okay. That strikes me as a fine spot to wrap up for today. Because that's a challenging battle to start off with. It's a very tough fight awaiting us, but we have lots of stuff. We're ready. Yeah. I think that's the answer. Throw Nana save. Alright. You're gonna see my reaction, British. Is there a reason that you can't attend on Saturday? Or you just mean you want to see it now? Thing is, I'm gonna start getting some heat from the other room if if I haven't wrapped this up and cleaned the kitchen so that supper can be prepared. So I don't know how much further than 6 p.m. I could go anyway. That's a good thought. I think I'd remember that I was looking for a room, but what am I talking about thinking I would remember anything? Okay. All right. On Saturday, and on top of that, in advance of Saturday, I will figure out exactly when it's going to happen, and I'll put it on the schedule so that nobody even has to wait for the notification. You can figure out if you can make it. If either of the two of you definitely can't tune in on Saturday, okay, let me know, because I don't want. If I can, I'd certainly like you both to be there when I wrap it on up. So, all right, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Anybody who isn't British or Stupinski, if you're there in the chat, it's gonna be the big climax next time. So maybe you want to hit that follow button, but probably you're just not even there, which is fine. Thanks everybody who tuned in and left. I'm talking to you even though you can't hear me, and this is exciting. I'm excited. It's gonna be a long wait, but Saturday, the restoration of Lord British. And until our paths cross again, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.